Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy BULLBOYKENNELS. Just got here still a gaming update, even though this is what I call my yearly personal build. What I mean by yearly is it's gonna take about a year to get this all together the way I want it. So basically, what I'm gonna end up using, since I ended up getting another one, is the Carbide 500R Corsair case. So I still have my current one over here, and I got this one as well. So that's the case I'll be using. Now, this is more for a backup render machine and my personal home server. So it's kind of a mixture of things. Now, it's not a gaming system, but I would be able to game on it though. So that's not a problem. But my main gaming rig, is the El Bisto, and that's specs for that's usually in my description anyways, what's in it. But anyways, I am going to be using the Carbide 500R case for the power supply. I ended up going with the Corsair AX750. If I'd have waited a day, I could have actually ended up getting the 850 for the price of the 750. Now, before anybody says this is going to be overkill for this build, keep in mind that this power supply, yes, while it will be used in this build, is actually more for me to be able to test and also use in my main system if that power supply should ever go bad, because that one has two GTX 680s, so I need to be able to have a backup, which currently I don't, which is why I ended up getting a 750. But like I said, I should have waited about a day and I'd have got the 850. But it's whatever. Anyways, for the storage temporarily right now, like I said, it's gonna be a home server as well. I got a 1 terabyte. I don't know if it's gonna come in good, but a 1 terabyte Western Digital Black. That's going to be a part of the storage. For the motherboard, they had an offer going on, which I'll pull it out right quick. On certain motherboards, if you bought certain boards, they gave you a free 8 gig stick of Corsair Vengeance. This is just one stick, so I really can't do shit with it, except for I can keep it and just use it for testing purposes. Whenever I need to test RAM or RAM slots, then at least I have one 8 gig stick that I can do that with. I believe this is 1600 megahertz. Let's see. Yeah, it's 1600 megahertz is what it is. 1 gig, 1x8. So yeah, I'll end up just using that as fucking backup for whatever. Guess you probably want to know the processor. So, like I said, it's a backup render machine. It's not my main gaming machine, or actually my main render machine, because even my gaming machine is my main render machine. But a lot of times I'm doing a lot of rendering for side work that I do, for a lot of video work. So I kind of want to free up one system and be able to use the other one, or even just use both of them for rendering. So this build is somewhat similar to a build I did for someone else, for a client. Even though some of the parts he had are parts that I recommended myself, which were parts that I would use. Which is the i5 3570K. It is still, I still say it's like the 2500K best bang for buck value. So like I said, I can still game with it more than perfectly fine, and I can still render with it very well. Now, since it's more of a render machine and not really a gaming machine, when it comes to graphics, I don't need a lot of horsepower on it. So the motherboard I ended up going with, let me just move this shit to the side here. Move my whatchamacallit, my voltage tester. Is the Asus P8Z77V. Reason I went with it is because, like I said, it'll end up being used as a home server, so I can actually use the onboard graphics, and it'll also be as a render machine, so I will use the graphic card that I'll use for it. And if I need to game on it every now and then, it's more than capable of gaming. So that is the board I went with, the Asus P8Z77V Deluxe. I like Asus boards. I'll recommend Asus boards most of the time to anybody that's trying to do a build, regardless of what, you know, whether it's a low-end board, mid-range, high-end board, you know, it's whatever. So I stick with the Asus. Like I say, you know, my gaming rig, that's my El Bisto. That one is the one that has the 3930K with the Rampage 4 Extreme. So that's why that one's my gaming machine, and this one's my, you know, backup render machine. So the graphic card I decided to go with on this one is the EVGA GTX 660 Ti super clocked. This is the 3 gig version and not the 2 gig. And again, it's more for rendering, so I need the extra, you know, VRAM or whatever you want to call it, graphic memory. So that's what's going to really come in useful for me. And like I said, because of the actual parts that I'm using, I can more than well enough game on this machine. So, you know, it may not be the greatest of the great, but it'll get the damn thing done. Now, most of y'all know that, you know, recently on my El Gaming Rigo, I did upgrade to a SSD on that particular system. So this one is no different, except for I didn't go with the Samsung A40 Pro because, you know, they're very fucking expensive. So the one I ended up putting in my gaming rig was a 256 Samsung A40 Pro. But because of the specials that they were having and the deals on the prices, along with the discounts and the coupon codes and all that shit, I decided to get another Samsung A40 series. Not the Pro, but, you know, just a regular A40, so it's going to be a little bit slower. But this one is the 500 gig SSD, so that'll be my that will be my main boot drive, so I can get a lot of work done. I may end up ordering another one, maybe a 256, and just throw this into my gaming machine as a secondary drive, but I don't know yet. So, you know, that is the drive that I will be sticking in there. Now, I do have some other parts, which is why I don't have them on here. Parts that I've had from my original gaming build that I'll be reusing in here as well, which ain't too much. But for now, this will be my personal little rig for work. And like I said, backup render machine, a little bit of gaming, and more of my home server. Oh, excuse me. I got a bad cold. Now with the home server thing, the reason I said it's gonna be like a, you know, a year-long type of thing for me to get done is because I want to do a proper hardware RAID setup, so I can run my home server off of this, and that way it'll, you know, it'll be dedicated for certain things for that and for rendering and all that good shit. So still a lot that I need to buy for this, a lot I need to do. As far as for the cooler, I do have a new Knoxville NHD 14, but the RAM that I'll be sticking in this is actually a 16 gig kit of Corsair Dominator, which I'll be sticking into this here machine, which is, it's a brand new kit, so I'll be using that in here. Other than that, this is my update. Hope you guys enjoy it. Like I said, don't tell me the power supply is overkill, because like I said, I'm gonna be using this as well in my other system when I need it as a backup that has the 2 GTX 680s. Other than that, you know, I could have went with definitely a much smaller one and less power, but you know, those are what I stick with, so those are what I'm gonna do. Anyways, your boy BULLBOYKENNELS, and as always, keep them scratching. Peace.